IGT, baby.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Drinking Mafia coming back to you with another video. So I just finished watching Elimination Chamber, and let me be honest with you, outside of that main event, it was a fucking snooze fest. Like, I can't put into words how terrible this fucking PLE was. Mostly because we kind of state the obvious of who was going to win, you know, these matches and all of that. But nothing was surprising and all. So I haven't really taken that much notes, you know, because we had no reason to and all. So we'll jump into it and talk about what happened throughout the show and all that. So let's just get right into it. So they had the women's Elimination Chamber match to kick off. And in it, you had Tiffany Stratton, Kiana James, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and it's another name escaping me right now. Fuck, what's her name escaping me? Oh, Raquel Rodriguez. So that's how you know how bored I was. So out of the match, you know, it was pretty solid. You know, you had some good spots on there with Rhea Ripley and all, and with Kiana James and Raquel Rodriguez. You know, so as the match beginning and shit, Kiana stand out, like, you know, popping it off for Asuka when she entered out of the pod, or she came out of the pod. Kiana wasted no time and straight attacked her and all that, putting her through the plexiglass and all. So I thought that was interesting, you know, just to showcase what she could deliver. And I kind of seen that, especially after her performance, you know, in the Royal Rumble, in times that she was on SmackDown and all that. I was like, okay, when she steps away from Julia, you see a different side of her that's very interesting. So I was glad they gave her some time on it. And yeah, it was at a point where through the match, Alexa Bliss was about to hit Sister Abigail onto her, but Asuka ended up hitting the miss that hit her face, and then that's when Kiana James rolled her up for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and she was eliminated. Then we had a situation where Raquel Rodriguez won. Kiana James was knocked out in the middle of the own ring, and you had Raquel, who had Asuka up, hit a Tahana bomb on her and covered them both for the 1, the 2, and the 3. Now that I wasn't a fan of, because I felt like, you know, it should have been individual. I think the fact that you eliminated both Kiana James and Asuka instead of just being Kiana James, and then you give Asuka some time in there and she get eliminated, cool, it is what it is. You know, you kind of like, it just ain't had that aura feel to it anymore. So, you know, they ended up getting eliminated. So, you know, it was down to 3 women: Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, and Rhea Ripley. So, the other match, you see Rhea Ripley goes on top of the pod, and Raquel was on the top rope, and she hits this cannonball on a Raquel, which looked crazy and all. And then to follow suit, you had Tiffany Stratton hit the prettiest moonsault on a Raquel Rodriguez to pin her for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And she was eliminated, with led to only Rhea and Tiffany Stratton, as I expected. So towards the climax of the match, you see Tiffany Stratton, you know, she does a rolling senton, you know, to go up and hit the prettiest moonsault. But in the midst of that, you see Rhea gets up and she kind of pushes Tiffany onto the pod. So as she did that, she wastes no time, grabs her, puts her back in the ring, and hits her with the Riptide for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And now she's going to be facing Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Now, I'll be honest with you, I already expected Rhea Ripley to win this match, and that's because she lost the titles to Nia Jax and Last Legend on Friday Night SmackDown. Her and Io lost the tag team titles. She goes into this chamber match, and she was the perfect fit to face Jade because of Bianca Belair being out. So we can all agree on that right there. I do see a situation where this probably gets turned into a triple threat match because in this case with Charlotte Flair, she has some interactions with Jade, and you know they had some friction between the two, and she's gonna find her way to be on WrestleMania, and that might transition into it being a triple threat match, you know. So we'll see how things turns out. It still haven't been confirmed yet, but I'm just thinking from a booking standpoint how that whole thing would turn out. So I could potentially see that happen. So y'all let me know how I feel about it in the comments below. Next, we had Becky Lynch taking on AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, I chose Becky Lynch to win this because I didn't expect AJ to win until probably WrestleMania when they pretty much run it back. Because I'm saying this match, we're gonna get some heel shenanigans from Becky Lynch to the point where it most likely has to involve the ref in it. And that's pretty much how that whole match went out. You know, it was pretty much slow pace towards the beginning of it. In the middle, it started to pick up at a certain point. But when you start seeing the ref Jessica Carr, she got knocked out of the equation not once but twice. You know, and she kind of see what was Becky's like true like instinct at that moment, and that was to pretty much beat AJ Lee by hook or by crook, but do it in a heelish fashion. So when the ref was knocked out, you said she had a chair and she hits a DDT onto AJ Lee on it, and I think okay, that might be the chance that she might put her out, you know. But she counted for the 1, the 2, AJ kicks out, and then when she tried to pull some nonsense off like that again, AJ was able to counter that, lock in the Black Widow on her, and she ends up tapping out very fast, if you ask me. And now AJ Lee is your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Now, I'm not mad about her winning the title. I think that was a very special moment to happen like that, especially in Chicago. And also, I'm glad she had her moment. She got her title, her first single title in years, and to celebrate it. But I felt like it would have made a lot more sense if we would have had gotten that at WrestleMania, especially one being a larger crowd and having your moment there. Because now with this being the case, are you gonna face Becky again at WrestleMania? Which I'm pretty sure nobody want to see that. And will you drop the title? You know, so there's a lot that hangs in the balance, and we'll have to see how things turns out now with Elimination Chamber behind us now and going forward leading into WrestleMania. We got to see if they're going to run it back again or they're going to pivot to another feud for AJ Lee and all that stuff. So we can see what happens, because she did call out a lot of superstars that she wanted to face in that Raw locker room. So we'll see who step up to the plate and do so. Like, it could be an opportunity for Bayley. It could be an opportunity for Lava Valkyria. Some may say they might throw who else in the mix? I was about to say Nikki Bella, which no, because they try to target the women's tag team titles. So I don't know. They got multiple challenges to deal with, but make no mistake about it, when it comes down to Becky Lynch, this is far from over. I want it to be done, but we'll see how that whole thing turns out. But AJ Lee ended up winning and all. But next we had Finn Balor versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we already know they was just delaying the inevitable for Finn Balor. Because once they played the Chicago Bulls 90s theme from Michael Jordan, during CM Punk's entrance, you knew it was over. You knew it was over. And the jacket was fired and all that too. Like, that alone, it just was set in stone. Like, yeah, Finn ain't winning. I'm like, you have your little moments here and there and all that, and then it's right back to Katie with your dog. Because literally, that match itself was slow pace and all that. When it did start to pick up, I'm like, okay, train starting to roll a bit, and then it just went right back down. And at one point, I thought we were going to get some interference with Dom and JD McDonough, but that wasn't the case. You know, Finn tried to hit him with the coup de grace and all that, got countered, and Punk ended up hitting him with a GTS multiple times, I may say, throughout the match. But when he hit the final one, covered him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, he ended up retaining the title. And at that moment right there, you know it was pretty much over. So you saw Finn pretty much shake his hand at the end of the match and all, which you get respect for. And we know it's a babyface turn coming sooner rather than later. But as of right now, my brother, yeah, you need to take your ass back to catering. Go fix my bacon, egg, and cheese on the roll. Go give me a chopped cheese and all that. Like, still waiting for it. Need you make it snappy. Because this right here was a waste of our fucking time. And now at this point, all roads lead to WrestleMania for CM Punk to face Roman Reigns, which that's one of the most better matches that we're looking forward to. So we'll see how that whole thing turns out. And last but not least, we had the men's Elimination Chamber match with Javon Evans versus LA Knight versus Trick Williams versus Logan Paul replacing Jey Uso, who ended up getting packed up on SmackDown, excuse me. And Logan ended up facing Jacob Fatu for that last spot. And of course with some interference and all that, Logan was able to take advantage of it and ended up winning. So he was in the chamber match. Then you had Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. So Cody Javon starts it off. Very dope. See Javon definitely doing some acrobatic shit and all. I want to say this because I know I kind of glanced past it. The aura for Trick Williams, man, it's out of this world. That man's interest, man, he was fired up. Like, this man is $1 million without a shadow of a doubt. And I think he's gonna do fantastic work on the main roster. So I'm looking forward to that. But to continue on with the match, so Javon Evans and all had some good moments against Cody and all. The person next that was coming out of pop was Trick Williams. So I thought that was very interesting. Had some good moments there. And then next it ended up being there was Logan Paul. So Logan Paul goes in there too, and as it's going on, they all having their moments and shit. And the night gets out, and there was a spot, I would say it was on top of the pod, where you had Javon Evans and you had Logan Paul up there. So they pretty much are fighting back and forth. Then LA Knight gets up there. So both of them targeting Logan Paul decided to yeet this motherfucker over the pod onto both Cody Rhodes and Trick Williams. So as that happened, that's when they turned their attention on each other, and LA Knight hits a BFT onto Javon Evans on top of the pod, which looked crazy. So once that was done, we ain't seen him for quite some time and all, and then we end up getting our first elimination, from Logan Paul by hitting pulverizer onto Javon Evans, which looked crazy. I think Javon ended up hitting his head on the mat, but covering for the 1, the 2, and the 3, he ended up getting eliminated. So I hope he's okay, because that spot looked crazy. Like, I don't know if Logan Paul kind of rushed the finisher. Then he needed to give Javon Evans some time to really prepare himself for it. But he ended up getting eliminated. So I hope he's okay. Then the next elimination we ended up getting was from LA Knight, which he had a crazy botch. I think he went to go up to do one of the elbows that he does on the top the top rope, but he ended up botching it. So he kind of pivoted and just stomped out. I believe it was Trick Williams. So, you know, as a result, this is when Logan Paul takes advantage of it and falls on attack mode him. But as Logan Paul tried to fight back, you know, you saw at the night try to fight back, you saw Logan Paul low blows him and then pretty much rolls him up for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And then they got eliminated like that. So it had me confused. It's like, bruh, y'all really let this man pretty much lose by a low blow. I don't understand it whatsoever. It pissed me off. It pissed me off so much because like you could have did so much for him, but it's like again and again they still do the same bullshit as always. So he ends up getting eliminated, and then as the match progressed, you see Trick Williams, he got eliminated by Cody hitting the crossroads on him after I think see, I'm trying to remember this shit because this is coming to blur to me, but I say he was trying to hit Logan Paul with the trick shot, and I believe he missed, and that was when Cody took advantage of it, hit him with the crossroads, and Trick Williams got eliminated. So now that's down to 3, which is Logan, Cody, and Randy Orton. So as the whole match goes on and we get towards the climax of it, you see the hoodie guy starts to climb up the chamber. So he's trying to make his way through it, which we know that wasn't the case, and he wasn't going to get there because how the fuck you going to get through, you know, that specific pod to get inside? That was not going to work. So it was kind of like plotting and pinning, you know, once they grabbed him up and all that. And you see Adam Pearce comes out. So as they pulling him back and they taking his mask off, we trying to find out who it is. It's just some regular guy we don't even know, which in my opinion, we know that was never the case at all. And they were just delaying it for when the real shit happens. So as they try to drag Trick Williams out of the chamber, you see another hoodie guy literally creeps up in there and he's staring Logan Paul down. And instantly they waste no time, kicks him through the midsection and goes in and hits the curse stomp. And when it was all said and done, he leaves out of the pod. He reveals the mask, and it ended up being Seth Rollins. Makes a return. And out the gate, Cody Rhodes pins him. Logan Paul gets eliminated. And Paul Heyman just looked like he saw a ghost. Now, did it hit as we expected to do? No. And that's only because with both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed being out, division is just don't look like a threat anymore. They just look like a shell on themselves. And again, it's not their fault because of injuries that happen, but you can't put your chips forward on like Logan Paul on Austin Theory to make this shit interesting. So, you know, it was good to see Seth Rollins back now, and we're definitely going to see how things turns out for Monday Night Raw, you know, when it comes down to them, you know, pretty much interacting and all, because you know Seth going to have to get some shit off his chest. You know, that's bound to happen. So now with that all said and done, it's down to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. So as that's happening, you realize that the chamber is still open, and this is where Drew McIntyre comes in there, hits Cody in the back of the head with the championship, and as he turned attention on trying to hit the Claymore kick, Cody was able to counter this. He started punching him, then Drew McIntyre kind of reversed it. So as Randy see Drew bringing down Cody, he instantly grabs him, hits him with an RKO, and then of course this is when Cody hits him with the crossroads, hits Drew with the crossroads, and when I was looking for a split second, Randy catches Cody with an RKO, pins him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and now he's going on to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. And that shocked me because I chose Cody to win this match. We'll get in a situation where it is Cody versus Drew, but they may pivot in another direction. But they caught me off guard with this. It was shocking to see Randy win and all that. But I truly believe when it's all said and done, we might get a fatal 4-way match at WrestleMania, because once it was all said and done, towards the post show, you see Nick Aldis, he was talking all this other stuff and mentioned about Drew McIntyre being involved, and he was upset about that. Then you see Drew McIntyre pop up and he's talking the shit that this is BS. How you let this happen? You had a better control and all that. Not realizing that you the one who stepped in that pod, knowing that you're not in the chamber match, and you being champion at that, and you interfering with that. So you pretty much put yourself in that predicament. So he was fed up and all, and it came down to the point where now Nick Aldis sets up a match for this Friday Night SmackDown coming up, where it'll be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think there's gonna be interference, and that being Jacob Fatu. But he ain't gonna cause. He gonna cause Cody, but it be at the expense of attacking Drew McIntyre. So I feel like we'll get something like that, and this could potentially turn into a fatal 4-way. Because if I'm Cody Rhodes, I should be on straight cash out mode every single time I see Drew McIntyre. But I feel like it is going to be some interference that's going to lead to all 4 men facing each other for the Undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania. And that being Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu. So we're bound to see that for these weeks to come, leading at WrestleMania. And if that end up happening, I'm here for it. I would have said triple threat, but no. But now with Jacob Fatu in the mix now, and seeing that his real intentions to get at Drew McIntyre and got real beef with him, you know that's where it's kind of leading towards to. So we'll see how that whole thing, turns out and all that stuff. But in closing, I'm in the brains up too, because we had that crate thing that they're gonna reveal. They actually did it before the main event match, and when I thought it was gonna be a returning person that's gonna shock all of us, and end up being Dan Hudson, who was on AEW before, but now makes his appearance. Well, now he's officially on WWE, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that shit didn't hit. It didn't hit at all. In fact, everybody in the arena was booing. I don't know if y'all heard it, but go back and watch that clip. Watch how you hear them boo when he goes in there, because it's like, what are you thinking? You've been pushing for this big ass crate that's been here, like been on your show for about 3 weeks, probably 4 weeks now, and you were talking about, not to reveal it until the Elimination Chamber. And then you get the surprise right here, but it's like, So, I didn't know what the hell they was thinking in that aspect, but it was just horrible. But I just wanted to bring that up. But overall, this was a snooze fest. Outside of what happened at the main event, I could really care less. Hell, I was drinking during the stream. Chat would tell you, that. Shout out to everybody who pulled up. Like, I had to just keep myself at least entertained. But lucky enough, I had, my Mafia squad, to keep me going throughout the whole duration of this PLE. But this is a shame. Like, they got to do better in this aspect. I know everybody's on injury reserve right now, but you got to take what you can get and really build up on storylines to make both nights of WrestleMania worth it. You're going to have to do that. So I hope they really do. They got weeks to come to really build some shit up. And I hope they really be on their A game when it comes to this, because if this becomes another snooze fest, it's going to be problems. But we'll see how that turns out. But if I had to get a rating for Elimination Chamber, I'm giving it about a 5 out of 10. And what gave it a 5 was the main event match. You erased that, shit would have been a 4. So that's how I feel about that shit, but comment down below. Let me know how you feel about Elimination Chamber. What would you rate it and all, and how you just feel about the show overall. So I Definitely want to hear your thoughts down below, but I appreciate your love and support. Continue to keep God first. Trust the process on anything that you do in life. Your time will come, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.